Right, let's get into it. Now, of course, we're going to start off on the daily chart. At the top here is EU, at the bottom is DXY. So what do we have? We have our previous weekly high, which is the same as our previous daily high, and we have our previous daily low. Previous weekly lows pointed out on the charts, as you can see, and the same on DXY. So on Friday, you can see we closed out as this doji, which is pretty common for a Friday, but nonetheless there was news, so we've wicked up, taken liquidity on both sides and closed out. So that also could be a sign of deceleration, but again, as I said, it's a Friday. But it would make sense after the bullish run we've had that we're going to decelerate somewhat for possibly pullbacks to our discounts, or just for price to consolidate, create some liquidity before moving again. So that's about it for the daily. There's not much of a story to tell apart from that we have pretty much a bullish picture. We've decelerated on the Friday and our previous daily highs and lows are currently intact. Today we haven't moved much. So let's go down to the 4 hour and see what it looks like. So onto the 4 hour, I'm going to start off here a bit zoomed out just so we can see the full picture. You can see we've had this bullish run. We've mitigated previous buy side liquidity on EU. We've swept some internal liquidities here. You can see we've spiked above some minor highs, and then the same on DXY. We had our bearish leg. We've filled our price gap, taken some sell side liquidity, and gone into a fair value gap down here, imbalance and order block as well, and closed out. So let's zoom in a little closer. So you can see we've got our bearish DXY leg, bullish EU leg here, right? We're obviously in a premium. Price is in a premium because it's made that bullish run. We are at the highs and we have yet to pull back within this leg, or even if we count this as the entire leg, we're yet to pull back to a discount. We have our 4 hour POI here, which is an order block, which had a fair value gap. We've partially mitigated the fair value gap obviously when we spiked and took both sides during news or before news as well, and price is now consolidated a little bit. We have the same obviously on DXY. We filled our gap and price has since then consolidated and gone sideways into today. So from the 4 hour, I think just the important things to note are we are obviously in a bullish leg. We are obviously in the premium, right? It would make sense that we may have some sort of pullback considering that all the buy side liquidity we've taken and sell side liquidity on DXY and the POIs that we've now filled. So on the 1 hour now, where I think all of that kind of becomes a lot clearer, you'll see this wick, this news related candle that was created. We have our possible bullish leg here to here, which is more on the 4 hour, and then we have this possible 1 hour leg here, which is low high up there because we broke this previous 1 hour high. We could have had a better pullback, so I am considering this also as the leg. As I've mentioned, we have our discount price draw because we have this unmitigated area here, which is an order block on the 4 hour and the 1 hour. We have the same order block here on DXY, which is in a premium, right? So price may pull back to a premium from this discount that may attract price to fill these POI imbalances. We have within this possible premium leg a 1 hour order block here, which obviously held price. Price consolidated, been going sideways since Friday overnight, and you can see now we haven't gone anywhere since. Same thing is on DXY. We have the same 1 hour order block which has held price, and price obviously is going sideways as well. So for me it would make sense, right? If this is failing, this hasn't exactly created any bullish momentum yet. However, we'll have a look at that on the lower time frame again. Price has been going sideways, creating liquidity on both sides. So we don't know yet what price is going to do once it takes those liquidities. We have our POI discount price draw. We are in a premium and a discount on DXY. And so far price is failing to continue to make a higher high. So it would make sense to think we could go lower, take some sell side liquidity before doing that. Obviously internally on this 1 hour, this is also buy side liquidity swept. So at the very least, we want to come for some sell side liquidity below these lows or below this low. And if we use the price draws here and here, obviously that means price will go down and price will go up on DXY to come into more of a discount and a premium. Nice and quick. Let's go down to the 15-minute, see if there's any opportunities for today and see what the lower time frames look like. So now on the 15-minute, you can see the same price action. Obviously we have this, you could say the 15-minute leg, right? We pulled back down to this 1 hour order block, and price overnight and on Friday into today, you can see we are just going sideways. We were creating liquidity on both sides. Now into Frankfurt and London, we've swept both sides of Asia. Price hasn't moved much. There's no momentum yet. So there's nothing obvious yet. All of the opportunities we're going to discuss are obviously just theory. We'll see how price plays out. Now, what you may notice is we've taken the buy side liquidity up here and I've got SMC marked out. So we've got a high and higher high here. So on DXY, we should have a low and lower low here. However, DXY has made a higher low, which could indicate strength on DXY from this discount to at least go to this previous daily high and possibly up into the premium into that 1 hour order block. So if that plays out, of course, we would have lower prices on EU. So having swept this buy side liquidity here and DXY having held this low, that would be a weak EU. We'd wait to obviously see a break of the structure to confirm that. Price is starting to move now, kind of. We'll see how it closes out. So that brings me into discussing the first opportunities, because for me, I think shorts would make sense from this area. Of course, we've got sell side liquidity below here. We'll have to watch out if we take that and see how it pulls back. But this is what I would be looking for. Price to continue lower, close out below these lows, look really bearish, and then we can get our pullback to our M15 or M5 POI to continue lower, heading for these previous daily lows, sell side liquidity, and ultimately possibly this discount POI. So this one makes a lot of sense to me, especially with this SMC divergence on side as well. DXY is barely moving though. We want to see DXY also do the same, close above, right? We want to see DXY show its intention and purpose as well and pull back down to its POI to do that. So I'd like to see that in sync on both sides, keeping this SMC divergence as well, and at least just, you know, target these previous daily highs where the most immediate buy side and sell side liquidity is. So for some long scenarios, of course, price may not come down into this area. Preferably, I'd want to see price come down here, but we'll discuss that after. If price does take out these lows, comes out, takes these lows, creates a little structure, maybe sweeps itself, breaks above again or above this high, and we could see that something along these lines to go higher. We'd want to see some sell side liquidity swept from here and possibly internally again. If it doesn't do it internally, we'd want to see these lows swept, price just break up above, right, nice and clear, and then we can have our pullback like this. We can have price break above, pull back nice and correctively to the POI down here, continue higher. However, again, of course, this would be sweeping highs and it would be some liquidity, but it'd be with trend. Obviously, the sells are against trend, but they make a lot of sense. So we'll see what price does with this liquidity here, but I would imagine that the previous daily low sell side liquidity is more attractive, and so is this POI here. Again, if we come down to this POI, I'd want to see the same thing. Price, create a structure, possibly sweep it, break above, pull back down to continue that move upwards. So that would be where I'd want to see my buy scenarios. Down here would be where I'd want to see it more than up here. For here, I'd want to see that sell side scenario, of course, where we go for those lows, we close below this and just pull back, give us something to trade from down to here. So that would be the two best scenarios that I would want to see. We'll see how it plays out. It's Monday, so London doesn't play out usually that well. London can do this and consolidate, and New York has the better movements, but we'll see what happens. So far, so good for some shorts, but DXY isn't really ready to move yet. So I hope you gained value from that. Anything you want explained or want to ask, let me know in the comments. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon.